All good.
What up, what up? Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another edition of the Boxing Voice Radio. It is 12 o'clock here in cold Las Vegas, but we're coming to you live from the Blue Wire Studios out of the Wynn Casino, and we got a jam-packed show for you. We will be having Alexis Rocha, is he a number one contender yet, Danny? I think in the WBO, probably almost a mandatory for Terrence Crawford. Then we'll be having Coach Otis.
Pimpleton.
Oh, it's not Pemberton?
No, it's Pimpleton.
Okay. Well, there you go. We'll be having Coach Pimpleton on, who is the trainer that is getting a little bit of backlash, or should I say a lot of attention, after the leaked sparring of Romero being dropped. But speaking of Rolly, that's what today's show is all about. Rolly gets a title shot, and the WBA is allowing him to do that even after a loss. And speaking of the WBA, they finally continued with their consolidation, and they're making Lara, the regular champion, fight Gennady, the super champion. I just wish they did that with Devin and Tank.
Yes, indeed.
Consolidate.
That would be wonderful.
Don't pick a division. They always do that. They did this twice to poor Golovkin. I ain't going front.
This is the second time.
You just consolidated when Daniel was the champ. Now, all of a sudden, that belt's still here, and Gennady got to do it again. And in that particular time, Daniel was able to get more than the mandated amount thanks to his representation.
Peter Conley?
No. Keith Conley and Al Heyman.
Yeah, my host, I said, I try to combine them there.
Yeah, he tried to combine Peter Kahn and Peter Conley.
You mean
and Keith Conley.
Now you're saying it.
I know.
Yeah, shout out to Keith.
So, yeah, man, I guess your thoughts, bro. Title consolidation, title shots, WBA, I guess, working hard.
Let's see if it happens first, right? You know, got to see if it happens first.
And which one are you talking? We got two WBA shots.
The Golovkin.
Lara. I think it will, simply because Golovkin's already vacated the IBF title. I don't know that you know.
Yes, I did know.
He let it go yesterday.
But this didn't come till after.
Exactly. Because IBF was first, so he let that go, not to have that mandatory.
Oh, so he knew what was coming.
Yeah.
Okay.
But who was next in line in that? Let me look it up. In the IBF rankings, who would have been next in line for a title shot? But you want to hear the irony in this?
What's the irony?
John A. Beck, who is also Kazakhstanian, and who is also a 160-pound WBO champion, who should be wanting to unify with Gennady, has raised his hand and put his name in the hat, not to fight Gennady, but instead to be the lead sparring partner to help him get ready for the Southpaw in Islandri Lara. Isn't that odd?
Very.
Isn't that strange? Like, what the hell was he thinking?
Why would I bring you in for sparring and I could fight you?
They obviously don't want to fight.
Well,
and it's okay.
If Gennady brings him in, that's on him too, though.
No, I mean, look, it's okay. Keyshawn and Shakur won't fight. They're in the same division. I mean, if you're going to make a stance, you got to make it now. They help each other, Keyshawn and Shakur in camp. So it is okay, but Shakur's accomplished. And I guess so is Gennady.
Falcoa was the undefeated Brazilian gold medalist.
Tough guy. Tough fight.
It's tough fight, low reward too, because he ain't really known
at all. Which now Falco is with Top Rank. So, are they gonna push hard for the 30-0, 20 knockouts, undefeated fighter to get a vacant title shot that he can later unify with their champion, Johnny Beck.
Yeah, I think we'll see that. Michael Zerafa, isn't he under that top rank, or is he Matchroom?
I think Zerafa is not with either. He's an Australian boxer that's only gotten opportunities over here versus other big names. He's never really had any alliance. First time breaking on the scene was versus Peter Quillen, where the stripper part-time job photos were leaked, and, they were making a mockery of him, calling him a stripper. Then, he got knocked out in that fight, I'm pretty sure, and went on to fight Jeff Horn, and then Anthony Mundine, or vice versa, Mundine, then Horn, and we never heard from him since. But Zerafa is number 2, but he's also number 1 in the WBA to Lara and Gennady. So he might not want the shot at, look, Falco is young. He's got punching power.
Yeah, but I don't think he jumps. Like, they already ordered Lara Gennady, so he's not going to jump.
No, I mean, wait in
order.
line. I mean, if you're Zerafa, do you just wait for a better opportunity in the WBA, or do you jump at the IBF opportunity versus this, 33-year-old undefeated, 30 fights, 20 knockouts?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's tough for Zerafa. He ain't been knocked out since that Quillen fight, and that was in 2015, so 8 years ago. He has gone on to lose decisions to both Kell Brook and Jeff Horn. But he is on a 4-fight win streak. 3 of those were knockouts.
Falco hasn't stepped up, huh? The best step up he has is a guy that we only know for losing, in Artur Akakov, a.k.a. Wolverine. We first saw him losing to Billy Joe. Then we saw him losing to Demetrius Andrade. And now we have to assume he lost in the bubble to Falco. Other than that, legit, Falco's fought nobody. I mean, he's got like Norberto Gonzalez, again, that we only know for losing. He's not even on the stage that Akakov has been on. Like, I don't know, bro. Maybe this is a winnable fight for Safada. Maybe Top Rank knows something about Falco we don't know, because, I mean, I've really never seen this many fighters on a fighter's resume that we don't know. Like, you really got to be a super unknown commodity. This is crazy.
And it's crazy.
Okay, he fought Hector Munoz, which is, technically a welterweight, but he fought him in 2015, so that's 7 years ago.
Yeah, it's crazy because I've known at least of him for years.
Falco, you mean?
Oh, yeah.
Me too. I've been hearing about him for a while. He was an Olympian. This is why I'm not understanding this resume. I mean, 30 fights. He's treading into that Vanez Martirosyan water when Vanez was with Top Rank and undefeated and, not tested.
Yeah, like,
wow.
I'm going through his resume thoroughly, bro. Not just is it a bunch of unknowns, but truth be fucking,
a lot of 8-rounders.
Champ, no, I was going to say, truth be told, bro, he has never even fought for, like, a regional of any sort. No NABFs, no nothing.
Maybe they're trying to keep him a secret. I mean, the stars of the level of opponent, he's only fought one 3-star opponent, and I think it's Akakov. Not even. It's Price Vonley. No, Patrice Vonley. Who the hell is that?
Patrice Voney, some Canadian.
Oh, I remember that dude. Yeah, he was undefeated when they fought. Yep. I remember that dude. I remember that fight. I remember him from looking at the picture. Yeah, I mean, I'm shocked Gennady pulled out. Maybe we have to watch the style. Is Falco fast on the feet? Does he use the ring a lot? This resume makes no sense.
That's the thing. Maybe he knew what was next, which was the BA, which is the BA in Lara, and he intends on making that fight.
Because it's a bigger fight. They got 14 days now to negotiate that bigger fight between Lara and Gennady. Do you think they strike a deal?
Given that he vacated, I think so, bro. Like, it doesn't
Do you
make...
think
I think it doesn't make sense to vacate because you know what's coming next. So for you to vacate, you had no intentions on making your mandatory versus set individual. Cool. Move on to the next one. Like you obviously now. If we see him vacate the BA, then whoever's. Does he have anything else? But no, that's it, right, for Gennady?
Nah, he got the IBO. You know that. Don't play the IBO out.
Hey, man, chill out.
Don't forget about the IBO.
Hey, man, chill out.
What?
I'm being for real, Nuss.
About?
Nah, all right, so, yeah.
It's funny how you flip-flop.
No, I'm just saying.
Because when your girl won the IBO, you ain't had no problems retweeting her pictures with her little IBO on her waist.
I'm just saying, bro, you don't even have the IBO rankings on your page. Like,
not because of my doing.
But I'm just saying, it ain't like he's going to vacate the BA to defend his IBO.
No, I think he's going to defend them both.
In any fucking world, all right?
No, he'll defend them both.
All right, that's why I was like, okay, when I said be for real, because if he's going to worry about a mandatory, it's going to be the BA.
Damn, did Steven Edwards, maybe it's Breadman on Instagram, right? It sure is the Breadman.
There you go.
I've been looking for Steven Edwards, bro.
All right, that's cool. Yeah, so those are my thoughts. I don't think he would have vacated the IBF to not go the WBA route. He knew what was next. Lara's a bigger name, bigger purse, bigger attraction. You take Lara to Kazakhstan and give Gennady a homecoming.
A homecoming?
Of course.
Versus who?
Lara.
You bumped your head like he ain't with Al Heyman. This boy crazy.
and you act like he's a draw.
Bruh, you are crazy if Al is sending his fighter to Kazakhstan.
Do it in London.
That ain't his hometown. But that's all right. But he ain't going to Kazakhstan. You crazy for that.
He should.
Shout out to Billy.
Be a world champion.
Shout out to Billy Joe that was going to go, but there was $4 million guarantee on the line. So if they want to give Lara $4 million, then yeah, maybe he should go. But
wasn't Billy a champion at the time?
I wouldn't be able to tell you, man. I can't remember that man's career.
Pretty sure he was the BO champ.
I mean, not sure. I'm really not. Was it for unification, you think?
I'm sure.
Because, I feel like he vacated, or I'm wrong about that, because he had to have elevated. Used the status of the 60 to get the 68-pound shot versus Canelo. Was there a time in between that?
Nah, he moved up to 68 and got the title, but I don't know.
But that's what I'm saying. He activated the 60-pound clause.
But he lost his 60-pound belt because he popped dirty. So,
but he was able to get that back, didn't he?
No,
no, you're right.
He moved up to 68 after that.
So that's probably when he fought Akakov beltless and just got ranked there. That's a strange one. Let's see here. Billy Joe fought Akakov in 2016, and there was not. Oh yeah, the WBO was on the line. Let me check the rest, Danny. So definitely versus Canelo, the WBO was there. Versus Martin Mary, the WBO was there. And that's 68. So if we go to 60.
So look, yeah, he fought Lemieux at 60.
And the belt was there.
Yeah. And then he was going to fight Billy Joe. He was going to fight Boo Boo, which is why we went to Boston, right? And then he pops hot. So then he takes a tune-up at cruiserweight. He took a tune-up at cruiserweight after that.
Yeah.
In 2018. Then he fights
for the vacant
against Isufi. 2019.
No, Shafat Isufi.
Yeah.
That's insane. Call it free belt. Who is Shafat?
Yo, because I remember the next fight was his first title defense. I was there. That was on the undercard of Logan Paul KSI. He almost lost that fight.
Shout out to Shafat. Somehow, since that fight, he's been able to rack up a lot of wins. The only person we know is Thomas Adamek.
Shout out.
Somehow he fought Thomas Adamek at light heavyweight in 2021 after Adamek being a heavyweight for 10 years or so. That's crazy. That's crazy. And that's even sadder. That's the biggest name on his resume since losing to
Nah,
Billy
bro.
Joe.
It's not the Thomas Adamek you're thinking of.
Oh, nah?
That's Tomas Adamek.
Oh, thank God, because I'm like, how do you even make the weight?
I'm like, bro, I'm going through. I'm like,
Bro, they the same age, though, 42.
I'm like, bro, this Tomas Adamek, I'm like, he's been a light heavyweight his whole career.
Wow, and this Tomas got 22 losses, bro.
Shout out.
Sheesh. And you complaining about my man Gabe.
Bro, he's being crucified.
Till he gets the knockout win.
Yeah, California should not. Did they give a location for that?
Yo,
Probably gonna have
a
to
lot
be.
of people picking him. I put that on the story. A lot of people picking Gabe, man. And they picking him by knockout, which is insane to me because my man got like one knockout in the last 10 years.
Something like that.
You know, he got that one lonely knockout over Beck the Bully.
In a fight that he was getting battered in.
I mean.
And then came back and Paya.
He slept him.
He said, Paya. Yeah, but Boo Boo almost lost his first title defense at 168. I was there.
Almost lost.
Hell yeah.
Versus who?
Some Marcelo Esteban Cosiros.
Yeah, nah, I doubt that.
He was down on the cards. Then got a knockout out of nowhere.
He was being patient.
Bro.
Rolly was down on the cards, and so was Tank. You know what I mean? Like, at the time of the stoppage, Tank is the winner, though. Rolly had a judge in it, you know, thinking he was doing enough.
Halfway through, you get what I'm saying? Not the second to last round of the fight. Bro, he was getting fucked up. Trust me. Like, ain't no, like Bill Haney said, ain't nobody gonna get fucked up just because. He was getting fucked up in that fight. And as a matter of fact, I'm not saying Bill said this, but he was in the locker room. He was in the back with Dev watching that fight. He was not doing good in that fight, then scored the knockout. Then he goes
Shout out for knockout power.
Then he goes and defends against Martin Murray 13 months later, and then gets the Canelo shot. So yeah.
You talking Billy?
Billy Joe. What do you know?
He whitewashed Murray too. That shit was like.
Oh yeah, it was Surdo's vacant when Surdo moved up to that Billy Joe fought for.
Yeah, so we are scheduled to have Alexis Rocha in about 10 minutes. And we're going to be asking him some questions. If you have any questions for him, we do have a post on our Patreon page. You must be a Patreon member in order to ask him a question that we will, you know, ask him and make sure he knows it's coming from the individual that dropped the question.
The Argentinian that I was talking about in that fight with Billy Joe.
Oh, wow.
Is the same guy that dropped Berlanga in this fight.
Shout out to Brandon. Seems like he was able to book. I don't believe it till it happens, but he got Paco. Varacaracel.
Oh, yeah, he told me.
Varacaracel.
Yeah, next week, I heard.
That's pretty decent.
Yep, shout out to B.
Yeah. What? Oh, we got Brad Goodman finally? Okay, he working in the back end.
Yeah.
Brad.
Yo, he was like, I'm like, yo, what we got on the calendar? He was like, nothing, it's booked. I said, for the rest of the month? He's like, yeah. Bro, he sends it to me. Last 2 weeks is completely empty. I'm like, you a fucking liar.
Nah, it be changing because yesterday we had a guest that was on for the following
Hey,
day.
hey, let me get a bottle. Amigo, let me get the night. Oh, he kept walking. He had the 1942 in the buggy, man. It's Super Bowl this Sunday.
He ain't gonna stop. He got the VIP section to go to. He was headed toward the villas over there too, like you said.
The villas? He said the villas.
Spanish, baby.
I hear you.
But I am about to tweet out the Ask Alexis Rocha a question post for those that want to ask him a question. So there's no concern that Al doesn't let Lara do this? Is there concern that we go through the same thing with Ryan and Tank, or because Lara is who Lara is, he does get sent over to DAZN to fight on DAZN regardless of rematch? But I don't think that there's a rematch unless they can come to an agreement.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. When you say concern, zero. But I'm gonna sound like a hater. It's not a fight I care to see.
You don't care to see Lara versus Triple G? I'm gonna tell you this. It's definitely past its sell date.
It is.
Lara's been wanting this fight 20 years ago.
No, but look, I'm gonna tell you why, or what I would rather see that I think is very realistic. Number 2 in the WBA, Sergio Martinez. Bro, you have a fight for the old timers.
No, thank you.
What?
No, thank you.
Oh my, bro, he's number 2 in the BA.
No. 2 old dudes, bro. Get out of there. Put that shit on an exhibition.
Bro, it's gonna be more entertaining than him and Lara.
Put it on an exhibition, bro. And it won't be. You kidding me? Lara's like a serious fighter. Sergio is like a novelty. Like, bro, my man
have
said.
Have you seen what he's done these last few years? He's on a run, bro.
Yeah, versus nobody.
He's on a run.
And very favorable rankings from the WBA. Stop it.
I doubt it. I doubt he's getting any favor from them. You know, I'm sure. Bro, look, he's worked his way back. He's closer to Gennadi's age than Gennady is to Erislanda's. And that's saying a lot because Erislandi Lara is not the youngest, bro. You know what I'm saying? So Gennadi's like 47.
I don't know. I just like that fight. I feel like Sergio is looking for money. Lara actually wanted this fight. It's just they're both not the same fighters. Lara wanted this fight when he was in his prime at 54. Even after the Canelo loss at 54, he wanted this fight. You ain't lying.
He definitely get in favor, bro, because he just fought a kid named Kid that was 6-6 at the Caribe Royale.
Yeah, but that was at the convention.
At the convention, you're right.
So it's like, yo, if I fight at the convention, you gonna bump me? Hell yeah, we gonna bump you, because we need our convention to be popping. And if we say that you there and you fighting,
I'm just saying they're both in their 40s. That's a more even fight.
I doubt it. I doubt it, bro. I think Sergio showed us in his last fight with Cotto he's done. You don't take time off and your knees just heal. You got to have surgery. And even after knee replacement surgery, is he going to be athletic and agile like he was when he was a soccer player? Highly doubt it. Highly doubt it.
What about like after Lara? Retirement fight.
I don't know, bro. After Lara, anybody. Like
retirement fight against Sergio Martinez.
I got to see because I'm with you, Batman Boxing. Lara, he don't got legs. He be getting tired now. He's not as young as he was, but that makes for more entertaining fights. He does have the slips and the rolls that most common fighters don't have. A guy like GGG doesn't really roll. He'll slip, but he ain't rolling under nothing. So, I mean...
Well, you think Lara could do something to old man Gennady?
Oh yeah, I'm picking Lara to beat him.
No. But you said roll like.
I mean, roll under shots.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Like I don't see Triple G really roll under. Like he's on some.
But that's because he ain't really concerned about it, and I'm like.
I mean, he should have been concerned versus Canelo and the big ass overhand rights. Like he could have went under that instead of.
He could have. I mean,
getting hit with
I don't think
face.
I don't think that was gonna be a fight that he was gonna win. You hear what I'm saying? But yeah, bro, you walk right through Lara's shit.
I doubt it. Bro, Lara's with Ishmael Salas. I doubt it. I like the fight. I'm all right with it. I just hope they could actually get it done.
With the poll.
What you wanted to say?
Just the who wins and how. Shit got ordered. Let's be optimistic. Let's say the shit does happen. Who wins and how?
Yeah, I think it does, though. Like, at this point, there's nothing big out there for Golovkin. So there's really no reason for him not to.
You know, do got to keep in consideration Gennady will be coming down in weight for the first time in his career.
Coming down?
Of course.
Coming back down, you mean?
Yeah. But he's never done it before. So, you know, he had to go up. That was his first fight at 68. He's never done it. So let's see how his body reacts. He does have the great nutrition of the phenomenal James Lockwood.
Oh, really?
Absolutely. He is James Lockwood fed.
So he might have some energy.
You know, eating with James is always good, man. Always good. But I believe that, I believe that may play a factor. But yeah, I don't care what you're saying. I think Triple G knocking Lara out.
Okay. Not me.
Yeah.
I mean, when's the last time you knocked somebody out?
The fight before Canelo, Murata. Knocked his ass out on like 4. And let me tell you, I thought he was done. I wanted him to lose because I didn't care about a third fight.
Yeah, I mean, Murata did fight his fight, though. He stood right there. You can't beat in front of Triple G.
Yeah, I mean,
you gotta give him angles.
I answered your question. When was the last time he got a knockout?
No, you're right.
You know, I wanted Murata to win. Let me tell you, the way he came back, beat Rob Brandt. I wanted him to win, beat Gennady. I had zero interest in Canelo. Gennady 3. I
did want the Canelo Murata in Japan, right? Yeah. You
would have traveled for that?
You know, it all
What's
depends.
Up, guys?
What's up, Alexis Rocha? You there?
Yeah, man, I'm here.
Oh wow. Did the producers know? Can you put them on, guys? We don't see him.
Give us a sec.
1 second, Alexis. They're gonna patch you through.
No worries, guys. No worries.
But how are you? Until they can't give you video, we can definitely hear you on audio. How you feeling?
Good, man. Good. Just take some time. You know, I'm back at the gym. Been back since Monday, so back to the grind.
Oh wow. How much time did you take off?
Just a week.
Okay. So no more soreness.
Nah, no more soreness. Everything's good.
Damn, man, the black eye is gone too. That was fast.
Yeah, I just I have a little stitch on a little scar on me.
Oh, so there's no stitches anymore either?
No, they're off.
So do you have like a 90-day, 60-day? How long is the suspension, and when are you officially able to get back in the ring?
I think the suspension is about 30 days, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, the suspension is actually 60 days. So you are suspended until March 29th. And
okay.
I just want to throw out that's only in California. Like other commissions do take that into consideration, but that doesn't mean, you know, for the audience listening and that's tuned in right now, that doesn't mean that, you know, you're not able to compete somewhere else. They do take it into consideration. But yeah, it's only,
and they allow you to bring your own doctor's excuse. Like if they got 60 and you went to a doctor that cleared you before, I'm pretty sure they accept that, is what I've heard. Have you heard the same, Alexis?
Yeah, something like that. If I get cleared by a doctor here, then I'm good to fight in California.
Okay. Yeah, so I mean, only 60 days, which isn't bad at all. I mean, typically fighters aren't really doing 60-day turnarounds anyway.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But phenomenal knockout, man. I mean, it's hard to not bring that up. It's hard to not almost lead with that. Obviously, statement making. How's it feel, and how did it feel in the ring when, you know, you landed that knockout?
Yeah, man, it feels good. It feels good to have a little knockout reel like that, and I'm even more grateful that I had a good crowd, I had a good fan base there. So definitely a lot of my fans showed up, and just very grateful for that.
So, Alexis, I want to ask about Blair the Flair.
Yeah.
What is up between you two? Seems like there's still a
bad blood.
I mean, no, I mean, it's whatever to me, you know. It's, you know, I was a better man that night, and I just keep moving forward with my career. If he wants to hold any grudge against that, then he's got to wait in line for the future.
Well, I mean, I don't think he's holding grudges. I think he just is seeking the rematch, and he feels that he deserves it after his win over former unified champ Maurice Hooker. What were your thoughts on that performance, and is it your belief that he needs to do more to earn the rematch?
No, he did his part. He definitely shocked a lot of people, and it was a risky fight for him, and he took it, and he beat Maurice Hooker, not dropped him 3 times within the opening first 2 rounds, I believe, and then got a unanimous decision. But I still do feel that he still needs to accomplish a little bit more. It makes no sense for me to go back to fighting him after just a win over former world champion.
And after dropping him twice, did you expect him to show the power that he showed in that Maurice Hooker fight? Like, I didn't know he could punch like that. It felt like everything he hit Maurice with was hurting.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it looked like. Yeah, definitely.
So, obviously, there's been a lot of talk of a possibility of you and Terrence Crawford. Has that gone anywhere for you? Any traction on those rumors?
Nothing as right now. No contract, no nothing. But I'm gonna just let my promoter Golden Boy do the work, and then if they bring us with the contract, then we'll sit down and talk.
How soon would you like that fight?
I mean, I'll be back in May, I believe. Gotta give my eye a little bit of time. I did suffer a little headbutt, got little stitches, got a little scar. So I think I'll be back in March. I'm sorry, May.
And are you insinuating that you would need a fight before that to make sure that the eye is good?
I mean, we'll see. Like I said, if negotiations were to sit, if they present us with a contract, and if it's good, it's obviously it's a world title shot, but at the end of the day, it's a business as well. Got to get me paid, got to get him paid, or whatever. So we just got to sit down and see what it is, and then whatever's presented to us, if it's a Crawford fight or whoever it may be, we'll sit down and talk.
Now, have you heard anything as far as, because right now, you're still number 3, but Virgil's going the WBA route. He fights Thenonius April 29th. Keith Thurman is going the WBC route. It seems like fighting Earl Spence rumored for May 27. That being said, it kind of leaves you next up. You are available. Have you heard anything as far as the WBO side? Because in a hypothetical world, those 2 excuses is, for me, enough to bump you and order that mandatory, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I would say so. With the two fighters going another route, it would definitely lead me up to being the number 1 mandatory for the WBO. But I haven't heard anything yet. We're just gonna stay patiently waiting.
Now, did you know that Oscar was meeting with Terrence?
No, I actually didn't. My coach told me the day of the fight that they met up, and I still don't know what the meeting was about. I'm assuming it's about a fight deal or something. So my job was just to focus on my fight.
So obviously no conversation with Oscar since.
No, not really.
Okay. How soon would you want to get back? Obviously you just fought, but
Yeah.
Terrence fought in December. How soon would you be open to get back in the ring for a Terrence Crawford fight specifically?
May. I said May before. I'm already back in the gym, still grinding. It's as a job as a fighter, you always got to stay in the gym, and that's what I've been. When they presented me for the main event, it was a 6-week, 5.5 week training camp, and I was already in the gym, so I didn't need much time to get more ready.
Is there anyone on your horizon that is on your side of the street that you feel like, if I can't get this Crawford fight, so-and-so would be my next option?
Look, I don't really look at other fighters as that. I just feel like I need a bigger name, someone that's been a former world champion, someone that's been there, done that, and someone that just basically has a name for me.
Former world champ. Okay. Who could that be? Who's available? Have you heard of Jairo Calderon? He's probably not on your radar, but he's an undefeated welterweight from Florida.
I believe so. Yeah.
Peter Dobson. Have you heard of him?
I think so. Yeah.
They don't sound like they're on your radar, though.
Hell no, you just said a former world champ.
I know, but I don't think there's any available to him on his side.
Yeah, I mean, we'll just see. With Golden Boy, they've been doing a hell of a job. Just got to leave it up to them.
Has the conversation ever been had of them having to cross the street with you? Because obviously there's not that many options.
I mean, with Matchroom, there's Conor Ben back then. We threw it out there to fight him, and it was rejected from their side. But I'm willing to go over there to cross the pond to fight Conor Ben, like I said before. But a lot of stuff changed, especially when he popped for the whatever he popped with.
You did see that the WBC cleared him, and he will be allowed to be back in the rankings, and at least they will be sanctioning his fights.
I mean, no comment on that. I mean, it's kind of a shame, no?
So to be clear, you wouldn't be willing to fight him fresh back off of this PD scandal.
Have him a fight or two. Have him clear all the drug tests that he needs to take, all the protocols that he needs to be doing, and yeah, I'll fight him.
Okay. Well, I would love that fight. I'm shocked he turned it down. Was this before or after the Chris Eubank Jr. fight was announced?
It was before.
Wow.
Yeah, this was early last year, actually. I believe this is before I popped Blair.
Oh wow. Okay. Now, as far as rankings is concerned, well, at least with the WBO, this would be, I guess, a step back. It'd be a step up if you look at other rankings like the WBA, what have you. But I wanted to ask former world champion Denis Ugas comeback fight.
Yeah.
Would you be?
Yeah, definitely something to make.
Would you be willing, and do you think your team would be willing to make that happen? Because he's been on pay-per-view before numerous times. He's a former world champ. They may say, "Yo, we'll take that fight, but come on this side."
Yeah, definitely. Going across, it has to make sense, and for me too. I'm willing to go in there and fight whoever, but just as long as it makes sense, I'm willing to fight whoever.
I think that's a fight. Look, he hasn't came back. He's been out of the ring for a while now. And I think that's a great fight that maybe you guys should look into. That's a fight that for him, you're the young prospect on your way, contender on your way. And I think that that might definitely would look good on your part, beat Manny Pacquiao, put him in retirement, essentially.
Yeah.
And
essentially, yeah.
Some people don't forget those shots he landed on Earl, knocking Earl's toothpiece out. So
yeah, no, definitely still a threat,
Absolutely.
Not people can knock him off like that. He's still a threat.
Alexis, what was your thoughts on Rashidi Ellis's comeback fight? Well, not comeback because he had one, but obviously he fought
Roman Villa,
the Samson Lewickovic fighter. Did you watch that fight at all?
I saw the highlights right after because people were texting me, so I was like, "Oh shit!" I mean, Rashidi was doing his thing from what I heard. He was doing really good. I know obviously been in the ring with him. He's fast as hell. And then I think Villa's pressure just got to him towards the end.
I was hoping that you watched it because I watched the fight and I feel like Rashidi won at least the first 6. Straight
yeah, that's
up.
what I heard.
Like no doubt in my mind, he won the first straight 6 rounds, and I absolutely can give him the 8th. I don't care about any other rounds, so I just felt like he should have at least got a draw. Do you think the decision was fair?
No, I should have agreed. I would probably agree that it shouldn't have been a draw.
Is that a rematch that you're interested, or now that on paper he suffered the loss, it doesn't make any sense for you anymore?
I mean, yeah. I mean, like as a fighter, whoever loses, they want to avenge that loss. But I feel like in the future we could run it back definitely. and I don't know how hard. I know it would be hard to make because of PBC and with Golden Boy.
Speaking of PBC, Golden Boy, do you feel that way because of the ongoing, I guess, very public negotiations with Tank and Ryan?
With the whole thing being set up, but the Tank's a free agent, so he doesn't really. I think he's advised by Heyman, but he's not with PBC contract or anything.
He's
So it's more
definitely
easier
with
to make.
Showtime, though.
Oh, is he? I'm not sure who is he with exactly. I'm not sure if he has a contract with PBC, so that's why it'd be more easier for that fight to happen.
The negotiations for that fight are taking place on the Showtime broadcast. The hiccup was the rematch.
Rematch clause, yeah.
As a contender yourself, would you be willing to take a Crawford fight if you're not called the mandatory as a voluntary? He would be offering you a voluntary defense with no rematch. Is that something you would still take, or do you think, like, if I beat him, I deserve to be, the A side and control the rights to the second fight? Because obviously, if you beat the champion, he wants a rematch.
Well, I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure. I'm pretty
definitely.
sure you can't get the rematch if it's.
That's why I specifically
Yeah.
said you're not being called as the mandatory. It would be a voluntary.
and still no rematch.
Yeah, for him.
I don't-
Okay, yeah.
yeah.
I just wanted to, be clear. Yeah.
Yeah, for him, because he would be the voluntary.
So how does that work? Actually, I don't even. So what's the difference between a voluntary and a mandatory?
So in a voluntary, you as Alexis Rocha and Golden Boy have the right to try and negotiate anything you want. If you're the mandatory, the champion does not have the right to include a rematch unless the two of you come to some sort of agreement before the fight is called to purse bid. So,
makes
when
sense.
they mandate Paco, the president will give you and Crawford hypothetically 60 days. They said, all right, you guys
Yeah.
got 60 days to negotiate. If you can't come to an agreement by then
Goes to the
obviously
first bid.
it goes to the purse bid, and then you would lose any type of ability to
negotiate,
include a rematch for your side.
And then
Yeah.
and then once it goes to purse bid, you also can't
If it goes to purse bid, then Terrence can't get a rematch either because it would be a mandatory at that point, and whoever won the rights won the rights. But he would also lose the right to include a rematch because now you're the mandatory, and the mandatory doesn't have to give the champion a rematch.
But I was gonna say also the 70-30, that's the split for the champion.
The split.
So
Yeah, that's what it is.
when it's not ordered, and it doesn't go to purse bid, then you're able to negotiate that purse or that split or whatever the case may be. But still no rematch if it's ordered. Only if it's a voluntary.
I mean, I feel like if you're the challenger and you beat the champion, I think you have a say in the future. And if the rematch clause is available, I think you have a say whether you pretty much call the shots because you dethroned the champion.
However,
Historically, it hasn't been that way.
That's not the
It
way.
hasn't been that way.
Yeah, it hasn't been that way. I mean, Andy was able to negotiate a bit more money, but like
versus AJ, he's talking about.
versus AJ. But he was still the B side. It was still AJ's show.
And he still had to go to Saudi Arabia.
He still had to fight on his turf under his terms. And think about, like, Andy was able to get more money because Andy turned into an overnight superstar. Like, you know what I'm saying? From 50,000 to over 1 million followers overnight, meeting the Mexican president. Like, I'm pretty sure he had to learn Spanish a bit more before he went to go do that. Like, he turned into a sensation. He was a sensation.
Because of AJ.
He was exactly. AJ was so big. And on top of that, he made history. First Mexican descent fighter to become heavyweight champ. That was a unique case where, he was able to get more money, but still was the B-side. Bivol beat Canelo, and they're talking about Bivol coming down in weight for the rematch. Canelo's still the A side, So historically, that's not the way things have been done. And I think personally for Ryan, it's kind of hard because for Tank, he's fought the former world champions. He's been on pay-per-view, so he has more to show on that side than Ryan. So it's gonna be interesting to
Yeah.
see what happens. I think it's too big for them to mess up and to not get it right. Whatever right is, we're gonna see. But I think that all parties involved will come together and make that fight happen.
Yeah, I believe it's a fight to make happen. That's probably one of the biggest fights that'll happen this year, and it's a non-title fight.
Yeah. So, Alexis, are you, I guess, does it bother you that, people are considering you a tune-up for Crawford? Because when the whole meeting with Oscar took place, and I'm using air quotes, obviously the 3-fight plan was there. Oscar said, yeah, Alexis Rocha, Virgil Ortiz, and then Spence down the line, as if Terrence can knock off all those names.
Yeah.
Does that bother you?
Oh, of course it bothers me. People are using me as a tune-up based on what they've seen back then. Like, yeah, I've have a loss. There's a lot of mistakes that I could fix, that I need to fix, that I'm going to fix, and yeah, it definitely does bother me because I'm no tune-up to anyone.
And do you think you can give him trouble, if not get the win, because you're a southpaw? And I mean specifically with Crawford, or do you think that he adjusts well and he's seen all styles?
Look, Crawford's been around the block forever. He has experience, and that's all he has over me, But if I fight him, I have to be on my A game. There's no mistakes. I cannot make a single mistake. It comes down to using your ring IQ, and yeah, he's been more experienced, but I'm a young, hungry lion. I need to make the adjustments just like him.
Do you think the southpaw stance gives you an advantage? Because he hasn't fought a southpaw at welterweight. It's been a long time. Jeff Horn was orthodox. Jose Benavidez Jr., orthodox. Amir Khan, Aegis Velasquez, Kell Brook, Sean Porter, and David Avanesian, they're all right-handed fighters. They're not southpaws.
I mean, it might give me a little advantage somewhat, but you got to keep in mind, he switches too. He can be orthodox, he can be southpaw, and it's not easy fighting a southpaw as being opposed to being a southpaw. But, you could use your jab. You could use a lot more techniques to fight a southpaw. So I wouldn't say it would give me that much of an advantage, but maybe like a little slight advantage over other people.
What about your youth? You are 10 years younger. How much of an advantage is that decade of youth?
I feel like it's a good advantage, but I think Crawford's not an old 35-year-old, He hasn't been in any wars, really, that I could think of. And, yeah, I mean, youth plays a lot of factor, but I don't feel like he's too much old for being a 35-year-old.
If you had to take one of his fights to study, to prepare for him, which one would you use?
It'd probably be Felix Diaz, I believe, because he was a southpaw.
Oh, wow. I mean, I didn't even think of that one because he kind of just destroyed Felix. Like, that was a badass whooping. But I was thinking Jose Benavidez Jr. I feel like that's the guy to last push Crawford outside of Velasquez, who got a knockdown that people didn't score.
Yeah. I know. I'm saying Felix Diaz because I want to see the adjustments that Crawford uses against a southpaw, and Felix Diaz was a southpaw. So I got to see the disadvantages, the advantages. But yeah, Jose Benavidez was basically coming up. He was young, undefeated, hungry. So yeah, I would see that fight too.
What do you think you bring to the table? Obviously, when we talk Crawford and fights with him or Earl or yourself, we have to bring up his experience and his ring IQ. What does Alexis Rocha bring into that Terrence Crawford fight that would shock the world?
I'm strong just as him, I bring my physical physique. I'm strong. I'm hard, heavy-handed. I'm pretty fast too. And I feel like I would bring a lot more when I fight a known opponent because, I have been fighting lesser opposition, but I feel like with a bigger opponent, it's going to bring out the best in me. And I'm going to make more adjustments like that. And like I just said, it's going to bring out the best in me. So you're going to see a better Alexis Rocha.
All right. And I got some questions here from the people. Canna in Nebraska says, hey, Alexis, have you been approached about, okay, we just asked you that, Cobb's rematch. Cobb says he is willing to rematch here on the Boxing Voice, but implied you wouldn't be willing to fight him off of a full 8-week camp. Would you accept a Blair Cobbs fight under those conditions in 2023? Like, meaning, would you give Blair 8 weeks to be prepared? Because he does say he only had 4 weeks for your last fight with him.
I don't know where he said that. I don't know why he keeps bringing that up. We had the same time prepared for each other.
Oh.
But yeah, definitely. But
wait, by saying you had the same time prepared doesn't answer. So are you saying you both had 4 weeks, or you both had 8?
We had the same amount of time to prepare for each other.
Okay. So would you be willing to give? I mean, because as you can see, we're kind of pulling teeth here, trying to figure out who can you fight. So Blair's a free agent. Or do you feel like that's just backwards? Because if not Blair,
that's going backwards.
But if not Blair, if not Crawford, Conor, you're saying needs 2 more fights. Who does Alexis Rocha fight in May?
Yeah, that's something that I have to leave to my promotion company for.
So I'm going to go outside the box here. This is not what I want, but former champion Keith one-time Thurman once upon a time could not get a fight when he was the interim versus Floyd. And he moved up to fight Carlos Quintana at 54, just a one-off. Is that something? Would you be willing to move up or down to make another fight in the interim until the bigger fights can happen? Or is that out of the question?
I would say probably going down. I mean, I'm a decent-sized welterweight, but I feel like I make the weight very comfortable. I think in the future I could probably go down to 140.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. So let's go ahead and put it out there. Would you fight Regis? Where are you? You're LA or Texas?
Me?
Yeah, you're in Cali or Texas?
I'm in Cali, yeah.
Oh, damn. I mean, would Regis be an option? He just won the belt from Cepeda. If he would give you a shot, if he would give you a shot, would that be something you'd move down immediately for? Or is that something you have to talk to the team about?
It's something I have to talk to the team about because 7 pounds is a big difference, especially when you're dehydrated. You know, you're talking about your life when you're that dehydrated. So it's something I'll definitely talk to my team about. But Regis is a great, tremendous fighter that would give a very fan-friendly fight with me.
Do you have a nutritionist, a chef?
No, I don't. No.
Would you? Is that something that you'd consider? Obviously,
100%
in a move down like that, and just in the future.
100%.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, in the future, even for 147, you know, there's always ways to improve your game, and I think nutrition is a big factor.
Well, Danny, my co-host, doesn't have a nutritionist, but did lose 75 pounds off of Foodie Fit with no exercise, but they're only here in Las Vegas. So if you're going to hold camp in Vegas, we'll definitely hook you up with some amazing food to help you lose weight.
And also, I mean, I do know some nutritionists, some chefs that work with boxers specifically. You know, if that's something that, you know, you'd be interested in, obviously we can send that to you as well.
What's a bigger fight for you at 140? Jose Ramirez in the Save Mart Center?
Regis.
No, but what's bigger? Jose Ramirez in the Save Mart Center or Regis, I don't know, wherever you guys can make that fight happen?
I mean, with Jose, I mean, you got the Mexican audience behind him. You got the popularity pretty much because he's made a name for himself, and he's been out there. And Regis has too. You know, he's made a name for himself. But I feel like more people are probably behind, like as since the popularity contests are behind Ramirez more for the Mexican fan base. But Regis has the belt, so that's a very hard question to answer. Who will be a bigger fight?
What's more important to you? Because we just seen Ramirez turn down a fight with Regis because of the percentage, and instead he's fighting Comey in his hometown, and he's just going to go ahead and fill it up and sell it out.
Yeah, I mean, that's hard. That's definitely hard. The dream's always to fight for a world title. You know, if you're not making any money, then why are you know, at the end of the day, you have to look for yourself too. Business has to do a big a big factor.
Champ, but the money was there. He knew as the mandatory challenger,
Oh,
you get that split.
35%.
You get
Yeah.
the split 65-35. He felt he deserved more, and this is what people I feel like a lot of people weren't saying. You know, when you're a mandatory challenger, you actually can get more than the 35%. And we saw it with Shakur Stevenson when he was the mandatory challenger to Jamel Herring. And what they do, they look at your recent purses. How much money are you making? And they justified not just a bigger percentage. Shakur made, more than Jamel, and Jamel was the champion as a mandatory challenger. But that's because they showed, hey, I've been making this. I'm an attraction. I can bring this amount of money. Best believe, if he was the attraction they think he is, he would be getting more money. You get what I'm saying?
More money, yeah.
I think the big problem was that before the belt was going to be fought as a vacant. So it was going to be 50-50. And so when he chose to not fight because of his wedding and then gave Jose Zepeda Chon the chance, now we do have a champion. The belt's no longer vacant. That 50 now goes to 35 for the challenger and 65 to the champion. But even still, like I said, bro, if he was a star and the attraction they say he is, he'd be getting more,
Okay.
I just think that obviously he knows what he's made, and so he wouldn't settle for something that is probably less than, he's been world champion before. So to him, maybe, becoming a two-time wasn't, or I'm sorry, because he was two-time, to become a three-time champion probably wasn't as significant as, you know what I'm saying, making his mandatory minimum or whatever the case may be.
I mean, he just had a wedding, bro. You got to make that money back.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure that wasn't cheap either.
Exactly. Champ, so we got James Valdez, San Antonio, Texas, that says Virgil Ortiz versus Stanionis. Does it go 12 rounds in your opinion?
I don't think so. I see the fight being very competitive towards the beginning. In the beginning and towards the end, I feel that Virgil has a killer instinct that he'll probably finish off Stanionis in the ending.
And when it comes to Virgil Ortiz, has that fight ever been offered to you?
No, it hasn't.
Why do you think so? Do you think, you answer that. I don't want to lead the witness.
Yeah, I think, we're two Golden Boy stars in the welterweight. I feel like that fight's bigger to push when it's more valuable as in them right now. Because if he has a title or I have a title, or if it's a mandatory, then it's a fight to make in the future.
If he beats Stanionis and gets the WBA regular, is that enough for you and your team to push for that fight, or do you want him to be full champion?
I believe full champion. That's where I want to be. That's where I want to have a full champion.
I just want you to know, because a lot of fighters don't know this,
The full champ doesn't make mandatories. It's only the regular champ.
And because of that and the history of the regular belt, and, that is the original belt, the International Boxing Hall of Fame indeed acknowledges and counts the regular belt.
As the champion.
As a champ.
Mm.
Well, not like the champ, but, they acknowledge you as a champion.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because those are like the regular, Virgil in this case, even though he's stepping up.
Virgil doesn't have it. It's Stanionis.
Stanionis. So in this case, Virgil's the one stepping up to challenge, and Stanionis is the one making his mandatory defense. While
Earl doesn't have to have a mandatory, who is the full champion.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yep. But why do you think Virgil Ortiz isn't pushed the way Better Beef is pushed? Like, when we hear Better Beef, we automatically associate 100% knockout ratio. I had to, Google and make sure Virgil's 19-0 with 19 KOs, but they don't really push that.
And on top of that, when you told me that, I couldn't believe it. I was in the top-ranked gym, Bro, Devin Haney, like the numerous fighters, they're like, Virgil has 100%. They're
People
like,
had
what?
to Google.
Like nobody believes this. It's not something that is pushed out there. And it's crazy because especially with him being Mexican, being from the Dallas area, you think they'd push that shit all over. Mexican. Mike Tyson calls David Benavidez a Mexican monster.
And he has decisions and got dropped. Virgil's literally Mexican, knocking everyone out. That name could fit him.
Yeah, definitely. I can see that. I mean, I don't know. I don't know why he's not being pushed towards Virgil. I mean, his resume speaks for itself.
How are you feeling about your promotional company and how they're guiding your career?
I'm very grateful for everything they've been doing. I cannot complain whatsoever. I'm with one of the best promotional companies out there, and I'm just very grateful.
So are you comfortable with the direction they're taking your career?
Yeah, definitely, 100%.
And are you confident that they'll be able to make you a world champion? I'm
confident I'm making myself a world champion.
I love that answer. I got New York Bullet. I should have went to their questions before interviewing you because it seems a lot of these we've already touched on. But New York Bullet, I do want to go ahead and read it anyway. Says, what's up, champ? If you're given an option to rematch Ellis, and he changed it, or face Villa after beating Ellis, who would you take?
I'd probably take Villa. Fighting Villa, who's he's an intern champ. Yeah, I'd probably take Villa.
Oh, wow. I think you just put me on. I didn't know Villa won a belt that fight.
Wasn't it a belt, or it was like an eliminator or something?
I think you're right about the eliminator. I don't know that he won a
interim. It wasn't a belt. Yeah, you're wrong. Duran Ennis won the belt. But I feel like Ennis is going to fight Villa next.
Oh, really?
I feel like that's the fight to make next for them. It makes sense. It's eliminator and interim.
What did you think of Ennis's performance versus Karen?
I thought he did really good. It's just with Karen, he was in his back foot the whole night, and it's very hard to fight fighters like that who don't want to engage.
So you don't discredit him at all, because obviously all the fake boxing experts, I'll say all the fans on Twitter and social media, they're like, oh, he didn't know how to cut the ring off. As a fighter, did you see that, or did you see that just his opponent was very, quick on the feet?
He was very quick on the feet, and those type of fighters make you look bad because they don't engage. And they only engage when you hurt them or when they're pretty much on their back pedal, But that's just what fake experts say, It's very harder for them to say that when they haven't been in there.
And the last one looks like it's coming from Houston, Texas. Would you like your next fight to be on the same card as a Tank Ryan? If it happens, meaning, do you think you could be ready for April 15th if Tank Ryan happens?
I mean, I would be starting. I would say yes, but with sparring, I can't really spar right now because I have to let my cut heal. So that's the shit that sucks.
All right. Well, I think that's all my questions. I do want to thank you for coming on. I feel like this is the first time we've had you on the show, man.
Yeah, man. Thank you guys for having me. I've always heard of you guys.
Not on the live podcast, bro. But we've interviewed him.
No, we had him on Sticky Paws.
Oh, shit. Sorry.
Yeah.
Really? I don't remember that.
No? At another studio?
This is my first time on this one.
At this studio, but we've never interviewed you at another studio?
No, I don't believe so.
Oh, wow. Sorry.
No, I appreciate you guys.
We appreciate appreciate you. We're sorry it took so long. It's the producer's fault who contacted you. We gonna blame him.
It's all good. It's all good. Whenever you guys want me again, let me know.
Oh, man.
Bro, no. Fuck that. No, I knew I wasn't tripping fucking 10 months ago.
Oh, wow.
I got the video right here. I knew I wasn't tripping.
Oh, good. Danny remembered.
And then we got an interview with you 5 years ago.
Wow.
Oh shit.
Where at? Does it say? That was in the field though, right?
Yeah, it was a field interview. You were at a gym.
Okay.
Welterweight prospect Alexis Rocha 5 years ago.
Damn, it's 5 years. You ain't been a prospect in so long. That must have been a long time ago.
Yeah.
Champ, give out your social media for everybody listening, and we do thank you for being on the show. I am going to squeeze another question in because I got a guest waiting in studio. He's going to be coming in. His name is Otis Pimpleton, and I'm sure you've seen the Rolly footage.
Yeah, I seen it.
What is your thoughts?
I mean, it's sparring. You get clipped. Like, it is what it is, bro. Like, you just get clipped sometimes in sparring, and you get knocked down, you get hurt. I mean, I don't see a big deal about it, but I don't think it's cool for people to be leaking sparring sessions, because what for? You guys are just literally in there to train and help each other improve and get better, but to leak it, that's not cool to me.
All right, champ. Just wanted your thoughts on it. But thank you again. Give out any social media or direct our audience anywhere you want them to. If you have like a merch site
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah, man. You guys could follow me at Alexis Rocha 777. I'm selling some merch. The link's in my bio, or if you're not, you can go to teamlexmerch.com. I appreciate y'all.
Appreciate you, champ. Thank you. We're going to
Thank you, man.
cut to promo and bring in our guest, Otis Pimpleton, in just a few seconds. So bear with us while you're tuned in right now. Even during the promo, go ahead and smash that thumbs up and share the show, because it's about to get good. All right. Now I hope you guys hear me. Welcome back. We're joined by Otis Pimpleton, the trainer of Tabiti, Andrew Tabiti, Kevin Johnson, John Ingram, Carmel Moulton. I'm missing anybody? Floyd Mayweather. Wow. So wait, you're training him in for his exhibitions and everything? Okay. Guys, make sure his mic's on.
Along with me and other guy, my other partner,
Who's your other partner? Just to
Gerald.
give him shine.
Gerald
Gerald Tucker.
Yeah, GT.
Oh, GT. Okay. All right. All right. So obviously we wanted to get you in because the very viral sparring. He's not hearing us in his headphones, gentlemen. But we wanted to get you in because of the very viral sparring that has been leaked with John Ingram, your fighter, and Rolly Romero. And obviously the footage shows your reaction, and some people are deciding to, I guess, question or assume why you were celebrating. We wanted to give you the benefit of the doubt. Obviously, I've been to the TMT gym. We all know that it's the doghouse, and things can get aggressive in there. So I was assuming something was said beforehand to get those two guys in there. There are rumors that Rolly was supposed to be working with the smaller fighter in Ingram, and people are saying that Ingram took advantage of Rolly working with the smaller fighter. Obviously, we were not there.
No, that's not correct.
So how did it happen, and why did it get so aggressive?
Well, first of all, when they came back into the gym, I guess they came back from over the top rank.
Mm-hmm.
Then when they come in the gym, they said they want some of the dream team. They want all my boys or whatever. And first, Kevin Johnson sparred with one of his boys named Gypsy.
Okay, White Gypsy, yep.
And then Bullet took it upon himself to box my heavyweight. So everybody
Antonio Cepeda.
So Antonio just
wait.
toured
Did
around.
he put headgear on, or were they just playing?
Antonio had a headgear on. I protect my guys, but more or less playing. But still, they did a couple rounds. But it came to the point where Jahan was getting ready to work his defense with a smaller guy. Nothing to do with Rolly. Rolly was just coming into the gym. So Jahan was getting ready to get in the ring with Malapi, I guess his name is, and let Malapi punch him and work on his defense or whatever. But Bullet said, no, fuck that. Work with Rolly. Like, cool, let's work. So in the midst of them working, we're talking back and forth. Bullet says, I guarantee you your man ain't got 3 rounds with mine. I'm like, it's bullshit. I know what my boys got. So it come to a point where it was more or less like, let's bet 10,000.
Oh, wow.
Fuck it, let's bet 10,000.
You and Bullet.
Right.
Okay.
So 3rd round come, no happening. 4th round come, 5th round come, my guy Jahan comes back to the corner and said, look, I love Rolly, but he's in dangerous grounds right now. This 6th round is where he got stopped at. Go ahead and lay back, he'll come to you. He laid back on a rope, and that's what the outcome was. But I was not celebrating his being knocked down or hurt. I was celebrating on the fact that if you was going to bet me 10 grand, look what just happened. You know what I mean? You never confirm whether or not you were going to pay me now, because my thing is, if you make a bet, don't make an ass bet. Be able to pay me.
So, he ain't pay you the 10, or y'all ain't shake on it? Did y'all shake on it?
It wasn't a shake on it.
Okay,
no.
okay.
But with that being said,
Do you think it needed to be a shake?
No, it didn't need to be a shake. But at the same time, somebody could have gotten hurt at the same time. See, I work with Rolly a lot. I had on a Rolly T-shirt. I work with Rolly a lot. Man, Rolly just posted a video of me and him doing hand pads together last week. So I don't want nobody to get hurt, as everybody's saying, but nobody has the balls to pick up the phone and say, well, Coach, what happened? Why it look like you're celebrating? You know why it look like you're celebrating? Because nobody knows what the hell they're talking about. You have to know the individual. I care about fighters. I don't take a fighter and put him in the harm's way. But when it gets to the point, everything in the gym is camaraderie. If you can't go to war in the gym, you can't go to war in a fight. I mean, my guy is only a 22, 26 pounder.
With 3 fights.
With 3 pro fights. Very few amateur fights. But, I mean, everybody's posting all these incorrect statements and saying, well, then nobody was there. I really don't care, because none of them have the balls to pick up and say it. At least y'all came out and said, look, we want to get you here to see what's going on.
Yeah, we know.
This did not give boxing a black eye. It should really wake people up. But had it went the other way, would it be posted? I don't know. But it never should have left the gym.
Did you know it was being recorded?
Everybody was recording Bullet and them boxing previously. They were recording Bullet and Antonio. Nobody put up their cameras. Nobody was told to put up their cameras. You know, maybe because they didn't think my guy would go 3 rounds. That's what the talk was at the beginning. Your man won't go 3 rounds. Bullshit. I know what I got in my clan. My boys coming to work.
So that being said, what was your reaction when you saw the Mayweather boxing channel on YouTube post the video of the sparring?
I was kind of upset. I was pissed off because they called me first. And I told him that's not for me to talk about. It should not be broadcast. It should not have left the gym. But the whole thing is, they went and they got Bullet to discuss it. But had they ever told Bullet, Otis declined to do an interview about this, Bullet would have called me and said, all right, cool. That's how it should have been. But they got Bullet to talk about it. Bullet said nothing wrong about it, but at the same time, my fighter did nothing wrong. Had it gone the other way, they would say what? Rolly knocked out a guy with no experience?
You ain't lying.
You know what I mean? We still all in this same pot together.
You ain't lying.
My love, I've known Rolly since he was a baby. So I don't want anybody to get hurt. Anybody that's under that impression, I want a kid to get hurt, totally incorrect.
No, and that's
we
why
teach the science of boxing.
And that's why we reached out and wanted to get you on the show.
What was the trainer? Because the trainer we spoke to also had like a lot to say in terms of defending you.
Bill Haney. Bill Haney.
Bill Haney was defending you and your character and saying that, we needed to get to the bottom, that you aren't the type to just celebrate. Something had to have been said before that sparring for you to react that way. And obviously, if I think I'm winning $10,000,
$10,000,
I'm jumping up and down.
Man, look, I was trying to jump over the rope from the floor. Shit. But it was not about that. I mean, even after Rolly got up, I was holding Rolly in the corner. You know what I mean? I mean, we got nothing but love for each other. It's not like it's going anywhere with it. Rolly's still my guy. Always going to be my guy. When Rolly, his next fight coming up, they'll see a different Rolando Romero.
What do you think of that? That's the fight that I've heard about. I'm in the gyms a lot, but I've heard about that fight for a few months now.
Yeah.
I wasn't surprised when they announced the fight, but I did find it, funny timing. And I'm like, the video of him getting dropped gets posted yesterday, and then today, y'all announced the fight.
Right.
But how do you see that fight play out? Obviously, Puello just won that title.
Well, Puello, I really haven't had a chance to sit up and watch the guy. I'm going to start dissecting him this evening and tomorrow, but we got a couple months to go at it. But guarantee you'll see a different Rolando Romero.
How long ago was that sparring session?
Which sparring session?
With John.
Shit, 2 days ago. What's today?
Today, Thursday.
Thursday? Tuesday.
Shit.
Damn, that shit came out same day. They ain't waste no time.
Shit.
Yep.
Ain't waste no time. I'm curious, Coach. Have you reached out to Bullet? Like, is there confusion on the bet, or like?
Have you guys talked about the money?
No, it's not even a topic of discussion because everything got misconstrued anyway. Me and Bullet, more or less, we're closer than that. Me and Bullet, we deal with each other. We deal with each other fighters. So why would we take it to that level? Nothing venture, nothing gain. So you keep on together and you move on. When you have an empire that you can build together, you go ahead and build it.
I want to say he is offended, though. He did do an interview with Fight Hype saying that footage should have never been leaked and that boxing is losing its ethics.
Boxing been lost its ethics. Boxing don't even be, the science of boxing is not even taught. So the ethics been gone a long time ago when they start bringing athletic conditioners in and do boxer's job.
Wait,
or trainer's job.
Be specific.
Well, they take your fighter and they want to take him to do extracurricular activities pertaining to boxing. I mean, that's different.
So you don't like strength coaches?
I don't mind strength coaches. So but when I get a fighter telling me they're bench pressing 200 and 300 pounds, for what? You weigh 200 pounds, why are you bench pressing anyway when boxing is agility and speed?
I think that's kind of just.
I mean, we got some great conditioners here when they condition. You know what I mean? But who gets blamed when the fighter loses? The trainer.
Coach.
Athletic conditioner ain't nowhere around. You know what I mean? Who gets all the grades when the fighter wins? Damn sure don't be the coach no more. But that has nothing to do with what we're here talking about.
He said boxing been lost its how long ago you think boxing lost its ethics, Otis? Because we've heard of boxing being a dirty game for
a long
100
time.
years.
Boxing is going to continue to be a dirty game. Floyd broke the bank with that. Floyd broke the barriers because he's the one the reason that boxers are making money. Because he walked away and did his own thing. Had Floyd not did that, would all these guys be sitting up learning to do their own promotion? Would they learn to put their money in themselves? But everybody wants to be a champion and they want to be great, but they don't want to be a role model. You got to take one or the other. They come together hand in hand. You can't say you want to be the best fighter in the world, but you don't want kids to look up to you. How is that?
And they're going to look up to you anyway.
Right, but we have to be a voice for these kids coming up. We have to groom them. We have to teach them what to do in life because a lot of our kids are being raised in single-parent homes, whether it's man or woman. Now we have probably just as many men raising their kids as we have women.
I know a couple single dads myself. So.
Exactly. But they love their kids.
Absolutely.
You know, but we get shit on for that.
You ain't lying.
You know?
So, Coach, you got a few fighters on this exhibition. Wouldn't you have liked them to have pro fights on this? Like, let Floyd do his exhibition, but
have a pro fight.
Yeah.
I would, but it's not my call.
Is that a commission thing because of where it's taking place?
Yeah, it's just the way it's taking place on an exhibition thing. But in the long run, my guys are fighters. This is just something to get them out there, get them in the public's eye, and motivate them to become a better fighter. I mean, what Floyd does is take these kids under his wing and try and guide them and groom them to become a better person in the ring and out the ring.
So how long ago have you started working with Ingram?
I've had him a year and a half now.
So 0 fights at the time, or?
I've had him since 0 fights. He's 3-0, 3 knockouts.
Now, I first heard of Ingram from his sparring with Floyd. But
Ingram?
Yes. But what do you see in him, and how far do you see him going? Because obviously right now his name is buzzing, but sparring is sparring. You still got to do it under those bright lights.
I don't know. We might have to double back on that because I've been hearing sparring is sparring for years till I moved out here. Sparring out here is not sparring. You guys are fighting.
Sparring out here is different. Our fighting is our sparring.
Exactly.
It makes the fight easier.
And what I mean by that is just because you could do it in the gym don't mean you're going to do it under those bright lights.
Oh, without a doubt. But, I mean, he's been doing it for the last 3 fights, but that's all in the process of grooming. So when you take a kid, you just can't take him and throw him into deep water.
No, absolutely.
I mean, Errol Spencer's now becoming a superstar. Terrence Crawford now becoming a superstar. But these guys got to want to fight each other. These ain't the Leonards, the Hearns, the Durans, the Haglers. All them guys wanted to fight each other. For whatever reason, these guys, nobody's fighting each other.
So, Coach, a lot of people, when things like this happen, you know, everyone rushes to say sparring shouldn't get leaked. But, you know, a colleague of mine had a theory that sparring in this generation is creating stars. Like, we wouldn't even know Rolly if he or his footage with Ryan wasn't leaked. Right. And Kevin Johnson, he's buzzing because of allegedly what he did to Tank in sparring. So it's like, is it all bad or is it needed?
I'm not into that coming in, recording cameras and all of that. Leave that shit outside because you'll see my guy when he's on stage. I mean, I'm not into it. Bring your girlfriends to the gym. I ask them to stay outside because there's a lot that adds to you or take away from what you're doing. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, you need to be not in total confinement, but you need to be ready when that time comes. You know, but today, they're trying to tell me I need to get used to it. This is a new wave. But I can't get used to it. That's not where I'm from. I mean, I'm from the Roger Mayweather School of Boxing, and we study boxing. We teach boxing from the ground up. Boxers should be taught like I told you guys when you came, you got to learn to step before you learn to do anything else. Because your feet going to get tangled up no matter what you do. And 99% of these guys are only on their front foot, and most of them are on their heels. You know? I mean, it's got to be taken to the next step.
And you mean that literal, right? Like,
I mean that literally.
Yeah, like they're not on the balls of their feet or on their toes.
If you look at them, you can see it. Every fight you see is forwards and backwards, forwards and backwards. You're in a square circle. How many people do you see travel in a circle?
Travel in a circle?
And then when they're in their ring, you got to step around in the circle to get around.
Oh, nah. I mean,
you don't see
Mayweather and definitely Keith Thurman uses the whole ring. Keller Plant,
yeah.
Devin
Well,
uses
Devin been around since he was 4 years old. That's a different ball game.
Mm-hmm.
Devin is going to be up there. Devin he's a great kid. Shakur is a great kid. Tank is a great kid, but for some reason they're not letting these guys fight each other.
I mean, you know why? Because everyone is with someone, and that someone, you know, they have their own business.
Right.
Like Tank is on the Showtime side. Showtime needs to make money. Ryan's with DAZN. DAZN needs to make money.
Right.
And Devin is with Top Rank. Top Rank want to make that money. And if your fighter loses, I don't know when it started. You're older than us. Maybe you can tell us. You've also fought. Like, when did losing mean we throw the fighter away or he's garbage now because he got a loss? When I've seen Frazier and Ali.
They just started that. I mean, look at
But
Ali
why?
lost
How?
7 fights.
But that's what I'm saying. Why and how? When did that, like, what caused that to because Hagler had losses.
It's only in boxing. It's not even like that in the UFC.
Right.
It's only in boxing.
But see, mainly, I really can't say when, but see, you used to have the businesses involved. But see, now the promoters are themselves the ones putting up the money for these fights. So they got to cover their own investment. When you used to have purse bids for all these fights. See, all that is not being shown no more. They don't talk about that.
But it doesn't matter, Otis, because guess what? When Devin got elevated,
right?
Guess who was the number one in the WBC? Gervonta Davis.
Right.
I interviewed him. Bro, we gonna do our thing. We ain't gotta listen to a sanctioning body. Like, the belts don't matter to fighters no more.
They don't. Floyd told him that. You don't need belts to make money. You need a name.
But at the end of the day, Floyd got his name from getting those belts. And like, people, like, I say this all the time, fighters always want to be Floyd, but they look at money. He had to be pretty before he got to the money. And before he got pretty, he had to go through the Olympics. Like all this shit. Like, Floyd been doing this his whole entire life. People talk about his education. He dropped out to do this for his for his life. So it's like, fighters don't understand
the process.
The process. 60% of Floyd's career earnings were made in only 3 fights.
Right. Well,
what about the other 47 fights that he? You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't like that. Floyd was an exception. And at the end of the day, we still talk about Floyd fighting 24 world champions in his 50 fights. Exactly. That's nearly 50% of his career was fought against a world champion.
Right, and they get upset that he fought who he wanted to fight in the end, but he fought who they gave him in the beginning. Now, in the end, he was his own promoter.
Took short money.
Right.
Versus Oscar.
Right.
But, Otis, I got a super chat from Uptown Diesel that says, Otis told Tank he is not an A-plus fighter. And he quoted A-plus fighter. And Tank said, I get paid like one during the Kevin Johnson sparring. Ask him what made him say that to Tank. Do you recall that?
Yeah, I recall that.
Why did you tell Tank he wasn't A-plus?
Because he's still got things to learn. He's got many. As long as you can't be an A-plus fighter if you can't get in there and do it on your own without being told to do it and how to do it. But Tank is actually one of the elite fighters out there, strength-wise. His mindset wants to be there.
Were you expecting the outcome with Rolly and Tank, or did you expect Rolly to give Tank a tougher fight or last the whole 12?
Rolly's experience level has to increase. I mean, I expected Rolly's a monster as long as you let him be, but it shifted. And when it shifted, the same thing happened. He dropped his right hand. He dropped his right hand and he swayed back on his heels. So that comes with experience. You learn to not do that in a heated battle. The closer you get to a guy, the lower you go. Higher up your hands come. I mean, so as far as I was looking at it to be a good fight, I was on the fence with it because I know both kids. I'm just like that. I wouldn't reveal what I thought would happen because of what it can do to our relationship one way or the other.
So talk to me about Carmel, man. Obviously, I got to watch him spar the other day. That week I was in your gym, and then I seen him at Top Rank the other day too. That kid is insane. So I cannot believe he's 16 years old. Like, he ain't punching like no 16-year-old, and his ring IQ is definitely not of a 16-year-old.
Right.
He's in there with grown men doing his thing.
Oh, yeah.
How long has he been this talented? How talented can he get? What are you expecting for his future?
He's a very talented kid. He's up for the Olympic team. They want him to come to the Olympic training camp. We actually have a title coming up in a tournament, in Detroit, coming up in March. But his future, sky's the limit. I mean, he can actually come out of the amateurs fighting 6 rounds or 8 rounds if he wanted to.
Wow.
But you still got to groom him. You know, I mean, it's not what you do, but how you do it. I mean, that was shown with Lomachenko. You know, you don't just take a kid and rush him. You know, but with him, Carmel, he's a great kid. He's had a lot of schooling over the years, but don't forget, he was so young he couldn't understand and take it in. Now he's able to digest what's being given to him. Getting up running the mountains, getting up running frontwards, backwards, sideways, pushing cars, strengthening, having fun. He's taught to enjoy himself when he get in the ring instead of going there and taking on his shoulders like, I got to survive because I'm a kid. Even though you're a kid, you got almost 200 amateur fights. You know, there's very few of those out there, but as far as these kids coming up, we got some good kids coming up. I mean, within the next 5 years, you'll see maybe 20 good kids coming up. It's going to be very competitive.
Some people seem to, and I ain't gonna front, I'm one of them. I'm critical of Floyd in the way that he brings up his fighters. I feel like he ain't giving them enough dates. It seems like Carmel's gonna go TMT. Are you guys gonna be able to keep him active?
I would like Carmel to fight every three weeks starting out. If he's gonna fight 4 rounds, have it every 3 weeks because these kids are used to tournaments.
Mm-hmm.
And they're used to being busy. So we'll try and get to that and keep him on different shows. But when Mayweather Promotion picks back up our promotion-wise, then we'll be able to know we need 2 fights a month with this kid. But Floyd is able to get a fight wherever he wants with just his voice. So we're going to try and have him in there. But Floyd he's not just tied to one kid. He's tied to several kids. And he's trying to be that voice and that guidance to these kids right now.
You got another kid over there, and one of your fighters told me he's ass. And I'm so, like, it was like a knife through my heart because the kid's Dominican. Floyd just signed him. I'm Dominican. I never even heard Dominicans in Amsterdam, and Floyd found this guy in Amsterdam. So I'm like, yeah, who's this little southpaw? And then in the gym, they saying he ass. So I'm just thinking it's a rivalry. How do you think that new Dominican is? Is he good, or does he need to get work? Like,
well, he's got to learn that transition because this is different than being where we're in Amsterdam. It's a little bit different. So we got to start getting some work, which will probably be maybe tomorrow. I'm not sure yet.
Oh, so you're training him too?
No, I'm working with him a little bit.
What's his real name or full name? I don't even know that.
Jay, I don't know, bro.
Damn.
He said, I don't know, bro.
I don't know, man. We got to build a relationship. I don't know. He had worked with me. Now he's doing a little bit of work with Rafael Ramos as well. So he's got to find out where he wants to be at. You know.
Does he got the heart at least? What could you say about him that's positive? What's the good in him?
He's a strong kid, very durable. We'll see, when he starts getting some work.
And I seen that. I seen that he looks strong because he's so short and compact. He reminded me of a little tank. What weight class is he?
What weight class did he say it was? 22, I think.
Oh, wow. He's that small.
Yeah, he's small, brother.
Oh, wow.
It's kind of big right now.
Southpaw?
It's kind of heavy right now. Southpaw. Yeah.
I'm interested, man.
He got power. I tell you, he's got power. I did work hand pass, but he got power.
All right. That's good. That's good. Yeah, man, I was interested. I'm like, wait, Amsterdam? What the hell? I'm dying to interview him just to find out how that happened.
By way of Amsterdam, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I'm dying to find out, like,
how did that happen?
Exactly.
Right.
Because Thomas Delorme is Dominican, but he was born in St. Martin and then raised in Puerto Rico. So it's like, I need to know this kid's story. You know what I mean?
Right.
So you do have Antonio Cepeda. He is going to be taking on Chris Lovejoy. We just had Lovejoy in here. I wish that was a real fight, too. But
I do, too. But I don't think you get Chris to fight him
in a real fight. That's the same thing Antonio said. So what are you expecting in this exhibition with Antonio and Lovejoy?
I want to know, because Chris got to fight a real fight the week after.
In Dubai.
Is he going to be able to fight that real fight after his exhibition with Antonio?
So you're saying we should carry?
No. I'm asking because I don't know. Like, it's an exhibition.
Yeah, because here's an exhibition. It's supposed to be just sparring.
Oh, okay.
So I know what you're saying because there's a time limit of time and days of when you can fight another fight.
Nah, I'm just saying, is your guy going to fuck up Chris? We see guys get fucked up in sparring all the time.
And we only seen Chris go two.
I can't say and agree with that because it's an exhibition. They say Otis said this man was going to hurt him. I mean, it's an exhibition. But if you
headgear, no headgear.
I think it's no headgear. But it's what? I think they're doing 16-ounce gloves for safety. I mean, but you're talking heavyweights. People don't realize the bigger the glove, the more
weight. There's
People
more
don't
weight on the
that.
punch.
Oh, he got on big gloves. He got on big gloves. He ain't gonna hurt me. No, they hurt worse. The little gloves just come fast.
It probably helped to block because less shots come. You know, is a bigger guard, so less come around with them 8 ounces and 10 ounces. You know, it'll go right around.
I don't know, but I want them both to be there.
So, what was your thoughts with Earl? Or did you not know? Because I know you're probably not on social media, right?
I am, but not a lot. I happen to see the remark
from Earl Spence.
I spoke to Earl yesterday, but when I told Earl what the situation was, that's a whole different thing, Coach. I didn't know that because people that know me, yes, I'm a shit talker, but I back my guys up 100%. But at the same time, I'm not going to try and physically hurt your guy and not respect it. You know what I mean? Provided somebody gets hurt, you can't control when that happens in a boxing ring. You don't know when it's going to happen. Dooku Kim died in the ring, and they blame it on Ray Mancini. That was done before he got to Mancini. He was already getting beat up in his country of Korea. Ray Mancini just had to take it on his head, on his chin. Take it on his chin because it happened when he was fighting.
That same, I guess, conversation, it's been a conversation amongst boxing in terms of people are taking more punishment in spawn than in the actual fight.
Right.
So why isn't that spawn being controlled a little bit more?
Spawn is controlled, but I don't think fighters are being groomed enough or the way they should be before they get into that ring.
Into the sparring or into the real ring
Into
under
the
the
ring.
lights?
No, into the sparring.
Oh. Okay.
Into the sparring. How many guys do you know that know how to clinch? Who do you know that knows how?
B-Hop.
Everybody.
Andre Ward. Those two guys were fucking amazing clinching.
Knowledge. Both of them had knowledgeable people behind them.
No, I ain't gonna lie to you, Otis. Yo, I can agree because that's something every fight card I watch. Like I'm yelling at a fighter to fucking
to
clinch.
clinch.
Time up.
Yo, and I'm talking about
Especially us, because we bet the decision so we're gamblers.
Yeah,
so I'm
we
like,
gamble.
yo, time up!
Yo,
Time
no,
up!
and we was just doing that. We was just doing that with world class fighters.
exactly.
Like it was a title.
I was asking Bumgarner the other day to get tied because she was gassed. And I'm like, yo, tie up. I bet the decision on her.
Right.
So yeah, you're right about that.
But they don't tie up, they hold. They literally put their arms around you and hold.
So you want more of like what Ward used to do, where it's one hand holding and still working?
No, you tie up both elbows. You tie up my elbows, you can't get to me. You know what I mean? You got a guy on a rope. The guy on a rope, you get up, bang, bang, let me tie you up, walk you back to the middle of the ring. This is scientific knowledge. Turning, step him around, you know?
Yeah, it's funny. I just learned from a trainer about the elbows. I had no clue you could control a fighter from the elbows.
Oh, yeah. You control them.
It's crazy. It's like handlebars.
You ever watch George Foreman do it?
No, but now that you say, I'm going to have to look for it. Is it like, can I just search it or I got to watch a fight? And by search it, I mean, can I put like George?
You can go all the way back to Emil Griffin. You go back to where Ray Robinson never really used his elbows. Willie Pep. You know, these guys, but they control them with their elbows and they also clip them with their elbows too. They're not telling you that part.
With the left hook.
You throw,
No. I swear the trainer told me the only way you know you throwing the left hook correctly is if you miss and you still hit him with the elbow. Is that true?
No, that's a different philosophy. It's a different philosophy because you can't hit him with the elbow if you're not that close to him. These kids seem to think you can throw a hook from here. A hook is not a jab.
That's what he's saying. If your hook is short and you miss, if you're throwing it correctly, because he's saying this ain't no hook.
But see,
it's just that.
But he's not telling you the right concept. You should be looking up over your forearm. That's where he just comes in, bang. And if I'm pivoting, where am I going? To my side. But if you pivot and you go across your body, you're off balance. So then he takes that arm and he does what with it? Tweaks your shoulder.
So when you say they're not grooming these kids enough, what does grooming mean? Because for me, being in this sport, I thought grooming meant taking the time with a person, giving them enough fights before you put them in a title shot. What's grooming mean?
They need to know what to do in that fight and how to perform in that fight. Most everybody come out there, shoot the low, bang, 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 bang. So a fighter with enough skills let you go ahead and shoot your way out. So now he starts decapitating you. Previously, I was the only one I could hear. You hear me tell my guys, get them shoulders, get them arms, right? But now they're learning. Your arms start to fall. Now you can start going to other parts of their body, but you need to learn. You got to learn to step. You got to learn to pivot, slip, duck, punch, catch punches, ride punches, roll with punches. It's not what you do, it's how you do it and when to do it. You know, so you really have to take all of this when you're grooming a guy. Is he finding a tall guy? Why would I tell a tall guy to bend down to you to where you can reach it? No, I want to make you reach at me. That's hard. Tall guy already got leverage. Why you want to take it away from him? You know, teach them how to be up on the ball of their back toe. Everybody's flat-footed. Most of them. Everybody nowadays have a great hook, correct?
A great hook?
Yeah, they have pretty good hooks. Who has a good right hand?
Wilder.
Besides. Wilder's a go-home puncher anyway.
Good.
You don't get him, he damn sure gonna get you.
I can't even think of anybody.
I think Bivol got a good right hand.
That was Charlo, Jamel. That right hand, it was like an uppercut, right? When he dropped Lubin.
Yeah.
And he put that right hand on Castano off the ropes a lot. Yeah,
Charlo
Jamel.
and them are being taught. Derek James. Derek James is a heck of a teacher. He takes time and he shows that. Pivoting off the back.
What would you say about Ajagba's right hand? I know fundamentally people think he still needs a little more work, but
He's
what
a
about
right-hand puncher.
Yeah.
But people aren't taught to equal out their weight.
I'm going to say Johnny Rice, even though that last right hand wasn't technically, he left his foot back there.
Johnny
He didn't bring it.
one right hand. And I'm proud of it.
Me too.
I called Johnny before he left the ring. I'm proud of it.
I just wish I think he would have knocked Guido out if he would have just, because he reached. If he'd have just stepped with it, probably would have put his ass through the
but did
ropes.
his trainer get any credit for that? Because they're getting ready to call that fight a draw.
Oh, yeah. They wanted to take that.
Rodney
they wanted to
should
take
get
that.
credit for that, for stepping in and saying, my man threw a right hand.
Mm-hmm. No, they was trying to call it a headbutt.
They were trying to call it, but they were going to call it a draw.
Mm-hmm.
So, before the fourth round, didn't it?
Oh, I ain't gonna lie. This women's boxing, you gonna say I'm being Bumgardner. She kept dropping Shorty with that right.
Yeah. She got a solid right hand.
I know.
Oh, and shout out to my girl Shadeja Green, did a thing with the right hand. She put that big girl down. What you think about her and Franchon Cruz? That's next, if the politics don't get in the way.
A good fight.
Women's boxing's on the rise, man. I like it.
Women's boxing is on the rise. I've got a kid. She's got 90 amateur fights. But she don't want to turn pro.
What's her name?
Destiny Diaz.
Is that the girl? Does she do MMA too?
Nah. You thinking of somebody else.
Destiny Morgan?
McCubbin.
Oh.
But no, I know. I've seen a spar a couple girls in the
Good
gym.
Kid.
So she don't want to turn pro because she don't like the politics. She
wants to do USA boxing, become an Olympic champion, and model and stuff like that.
She does know that 2024 may not happen, right?
Yeah, I told her that.
It's 2028 out the window already. So unless you're trying to grow old, you know what I mean.
But women boxing, I'm glad to see it taking off. But I really think they should pay them like they
pay the men. Yeah, we just had a show yesterday talking about Jessica McCaskill that, had Eddie Hearn won the purse bid, she would only make $64,000 for an undisputed fight.
Yep.
Which is sad. But I do got a super chat from $1 Trillion Dreams. He says, fighters should study the anatomy and pressure points so they can learn where to hit their opponents to cause maximum damage and end fights early. Does that exist in boxing? Is there specific places you can hit a man to hurt him more?
Well, there are pressure points, but how do you really you got the soda plex, you can't build it. Got your throat, you can't build it. Everything else you can really build. But you can't build your kidneys and your liver. But people are not even taught to throw hooks around to their kidney or liver. You know what I mean?
Can you explain a little bit of that more? Because I feel like most people practice their left hook, and that's around the elbow.
No,
so
that is right here. They go right here. That's where your liver's at, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you hit me to my liver, my hand is going to do what? My arm is coming up and block that. You got to go right behind that and get that kidney.
That's what I'm saying. So
those
Mexicans, aren't the Mexicans the ones that kind of go for that left to the kidney?
I don't think they do it on purpose. I think they do it because they're throwing punches around their body.
Nah, Canelo got that when he knocked out Leon Smith. He knew exactly. Had that boy rolling around the ring.
Yep. Going back to women's boxing, I got one of my kids call me from Ohio. Somebody tried to put into a bogus contract. So no, you don't need that. To where you got to sell tickets, you're being paid upon the amount of tickets you sell. I said, no, sweetheart, that's not right. You have a contract and they want to sign you to a promotional, should be stated in there how much you're getting for that fight.
Yeah, that's the problem. I mean, we just had manager Adrian Clark on the show, and he was saying that the biggest problem in this sport is misrepresentation or not having representation. How important do you think, having someone that is knowledgeable with contract law and contracts in general to be in your corner?
Absolutely, and it's very important to the fighter because the kids look to us to guide them, not just to nurture them in the sport of boxing, but you got to guide them throughout life, in the ring and out the ring. And in order to know what entails in your contract, you should be able to do that if you've been down that road before. You don't want to see your kid get into a contract where they're being taken advantage of. Granted, contracts you have where they redo themselves if they get you close to a title shot, but that should be allowed because this man has put this money in you for 2 or 3 years. Now you got 2 years left, and you shouldn't just walk away from it. Let's all make money. Everybody should be able to make money. If you got somebody that's behind you, you stick with it, you go with it. Me, I'm with the same family I've been with for 48 years?
So, definitely some love there. We just had Mickey Bay in. Oh, my God, it was on the tip of my tongue. What did he say? He said his hat goes out to guys like you and other trainers because a trainer has to be a trainer, a father, a psychologist.
Right.
He's like, yo, I can't do it no more. It's too much. I got to be selective who I train. Do you feel that way? Do you need to be selective or – because I have run across trainers that they just love the sport. And it's like they help everybody. They see someone doing something wrong, they'll go like, you're doing that wrong, even if it's not their fighter. So what's your train of thought when it comes to being a trainer and training everyone or not training everyone?
What did you see me doing in the gym?
I mean,
everyone.
You helped everyone.
And I go around
You helped me. You let your fighter work with me, so you helped me.
I help everybody. I mean, that comes from Roger Mayweather. Roger, we help everybody because you never know when that person is going to be the one. I mean, who's to say who tomorrow's champion is going to be? Floyd was groomed to be where he's at. And that's from his whole family, not just from his dad. Roger raised us to be that way, to know what we were going to do. And like he told me, look, man, you just make sure my nephew don't never lose.
I got Foxy Brown, $5 super chat. She says, Coach, what Boots should have done to stop a runner? Remember he fought Karen the other day? Did you watch that fight?
But that still comes with experience. I mean, Boots is he's in the big pond now. He's a little fish in the big pond. But they're giving him the accolades, but now he's got to learn to get to a guy and get to, as they say, get in his hip pocket, get in his pocket.
So what should he have done to slow that man down or to cut that ring off? Or did you not think, did you think he did a good job cutting the ring off?
I think he just took the fight to get by. I mean, granted, we're fighters. We fight up, we fight down according to our competition. I mean, I think Boots is one of the good ones coming up. Very well schooled, a Philadelphia fighter. But in order to get that guy, he was going to have to stay there and slug with that guy. But why take the chance of you beating him by boxing him? I mean, that's how a lot of them feel. We're different. We're from the old school. We want to sink or swim.
Based off that performance, do you think he's ready for the Earls and the Terrence Crawfords?
You can't really go off that performance because they all have up and down nights. I mean, who's to say? I mean, if you get in there with a guy that's supposed to be better than him, he's going to fight up to that opportunity. He's going to fight up to that level.
I got $1 Trillion Dreams right back, $5 super chat. He says, Boots should have laid on the ropes with a smirk on his face and told the dude, if you want to fight, let's fight. I'm not chasing you. What do you think about that? Crowd would have booed, right?
Right. They would have booed. They would have booed him. But, I mean, it's all a matter of what you do. Not everybody can fight on the ropes. But if you can't fight on the ropes, Boots. I mean, granted, I don't know. I don't really I've gotten to the point I sit up and I watch guys who I think my guys are going to end up fighting. I mean, Kevin Johnson and Boots were on a couple cards together. You know, we were talking back and forth, but nothing ever generated. So I don't have nobody at 47. You know, I mean, I wish them all well. I mean, I love everybody. I have no animosity with nobody. But when it comes to me or my guys, fuck everybody. When they come to me disrespecting my team, Andrew Tabiti, Kevin Johnson, Jahan Ingram, Floyd Mayweather, and Antonio Zepeda, you know, Amber Swift. I mean, she hasn't even come here yet, but we have a relationship. There's not a fighter I deal with we don't have a relationship. Me and Rolly, we're going to keep a relationship, you know. And if I can, whatever I do to help him for his next fight, they'll see the difference.
So, have you always been in the corner with Rolly and Bullet, or is this an addition?
No. Me and Bullet always have a relationship anyway. We'll discuss the do's and don'ts, the should and shouldn'ts, but I'm always there giving Rolly a little bit of extra advice.
Have you seen Bullet's new fighter, Christian Carruth, the cruiserweight?
The cruiserweight? I haven't seen him work. He's been over to the gym a couple of times. I haven't seen him work.
Damn, my next question was like, did him and Cepeda work? Because he's a heavyweight. He's obviously cut into cruiserweight, but he's super young. I think he's only like 21.
I haven't seen him. Nah. He came over there and got his hands wrapped, but I haven't seen him work.
Yeah,
he was over at top rank.
And that's where I seen him yesterday. I ain't know he was punching like that. I mean, you know, pads is pads, but damn.
I went to top rank last night. I went over there last night for some work.
Okay.
Who'd you have over there last night?
Antonio Zepeda.
Oh. Who was there? What heavyweights was there?
They have about 6 heavyweights there at night. On Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Oh, because Rodney trained Skylar, Johnny, and he got it.
No, there's other heavyweights.
Really?
Oh, I think maybe Yoka.
Yoka was there.
Damn, so Antonio got some work with Yoka?
Yeah, 4 rounds. He did.
He's very technical. I didn't expect him to lose to Bacoli. What'd you think of him while you watching him spar your fighter?
He's boxed my other guy that I had, Jeremiah.
Milton?
Yeah.
That used to be your guy?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, shit.
From what they say, his trainer said I had him sparring too much. But now he's 260 pounds.
No. No way. Come on, coach. I be seeing Jeremiah. Ain't no way he 260.
It was when he came over there and boxed with Antonio. I hope he's not, because I love Jeremiah. That's my guy.
Too. He don't look 260.
Yeah, Jeremiah, he's up and coming too. Wow. Heavyweight is getting ready to make some noise. But they can't all be over there training together. I'll be damned if I'm going to train with you and I want to fight you.
Yeah.
But I'll spar you to damn fight you tomorrow, so.
Yeah, but you're different. You're a different era. But, Coach, we do have a time limit because this shiny new studio comes with rules and regulations.
Okay.
We would love to get you back. I never seen our chat this excited about an interview with a trainer. The words have been great interview, super insightful. I love this, Coach, so we got to get you back. But we do have to wrap it up. I know you're on Instagram if you want to give anybody your Instagram so they could find a way to follow you or reach out to you.
The real Otis Pimpleton Jr.
And Danny, your social media.
Greenwalk Danny. Nez GTO, the boxing voice. Catch us tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. Pacific, 9 a.m. Eastern. We out.
Breakfast Club of Boxing. And we do apologize, but we are on a time limit. Catch us on the next one. Sorry, Bubble.
They done cut us short, man. That's bullshit.
No, it's that we got a 2 o'clock limit, man.
Oh, okay.